Honest Thief is now in theaters and stars Liam Neeson, Kate Walsh, Jai Courtney, and a slew of other actors. I had no idea what the premise was going into it, other than it was a Liam Neeson action movie. And because of that, I'm not going to tell you guys what the premise is, just so you guys go into it surprised. This is a movie that, right off the bat, I'm going to say that I had no real expectations because I feel like Liam Neeson movies can be either like really good, like really entertaining, or forgettable, diverting. And I'm gonna say right off the bat, it's a pretty forgettable, diverting movie. Like I'm literally saying all this right after seeing it because I know that tomorrow I'm not gonna remember this movie. Right off the bat, what I'll say though is that it's solidly shot. It's not bad in terms of the way it's shot. Liam Neeson is clearly having a ball. I liked his performance. I always do. I think the cast is having a lot of fun. Whilst at the same time, I liked that this movie was pretty serious. I think that this easily could have turned into a farce or like, trying to be comedic, but it mostly stayed on point with its tone of trying to be serious and telling like a story. Now, the story itself, I think, is very flawed, and I'll get to that in the negatives, but these are just kind of things that I liked, and I also liked how it was paced. I thought that it was a breakneck pace. There was no real kind of like couple minutes here or there where I was like bored. I was thoroughly entertained the entire time in regards to the way it was paced. Now, in terms of negatives, well, I think the story, like the premise, is pretty flawed, to be honest. I think that with what the character does, the main character in terms of motivations and everything, feels pretty weak early on. It really does. But I will say, after the events of his decision in the movie, I do think after that it did become something of an entertaining, albeit empty calorie exercise in, a chase movie. There is some action that was entertaining for what it was going for, but I just couldn't help but find myself not really liking these characters. I mean, these are characters that many of them felt like by the book. Liam Neeson's character had a little bit of depth, but even then, he just did things that I felt like were for the sake of the plot and not actually to their character, which is an issue in itself. I also think the score for this movie, it's not bad, but it was pretty forgettable, which is a sin in my opinion. And then, well, I think the other big thing is just not only the characters and story, but I mentioned the pacing is great and everything, but you're building to this conclusion, and then at the very end, like the last like minute, it's kind of like, what? Again, I can see a lot of like, especially dads liking this movie or people that just want a diverting action movie. And I think that if you want to go into it with that attitude, that's fine. You'll probably really enjoy yourself. But if you want an actual good action movie or a movie that makes you think for a little bit or has like action choreography that you can watch many times over, definitely not the movie for you. But if you just want to see Liam Neeson, like, doing what he does best these days, I think you'll like it. It's not good in terms of storytelling, but it's whatever. It's a movie that I could definitely see people liking, and you know what? I'll be giving Honest Thief a 2 out of 5 star rating. So I was disappointed, but I can see myself saying to other people that they'll like it and then probably like it, especially after seeing Rotten Tomatoes. Seems like a lot of people are very honest about, this movie. So, Honest Thief, guys, what did you think about it? Let me know the thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, don't forget the subscription, notification bell, and all that. Catch you later.